Hey everyone, this is Chris McKee with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas, and alamomusic.com. We've got a shoot-off today for you of some American branded, kind of budget-friendly acoustic guitars. In one corner, we have Martin, the 800-pound behemoth from Nazareth, Pennsylvania, that has been building guitars since long before most of us who can work a computer were ever born. And on the other corner, we have the upstart scallywag Taylor from California coming to challenge the champ in the acoustic guitar market of Martin. What Martin and Taylor have done is basically make two fantastic values in the acoustic guitar market. What I have here in my lap right now is the Martin DX1AE. Did I say that right? The DX1AE, I said it right. This is part of their X series from Martin. This is a dreadnought, which is Martin's most famous shape. They actually invented this shape, named it after a ship. If you didn't know that, now you know it. And it's made to be loud and big and boisterous and to just fill the room and compete with mandolins for volume and so forth. And they've done a great job. It's a wonderful shape. It's been copied by everybody, including Taylor. And, it's kind of what we've come to know and love in an acoustic guitar. So what I'm going to do for you is we're going to compare the two features of these and play them so you can get an idea. And like some of our other videos, what we'd really like is some feedback from you guys on YouTube who are watching this video. We want to hear from you which one you like. I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm not going to make a choice today unless you ask me and bend my arm, then I might decide. But I really like both of them, truth be told. They're a little different. One's not really better than the other. And that's really been the thing with Martin and Taylor. A lot of guys in these camps, I like Martin, I like Taylor. I'll be honest with you, I'm a guitar nut. I really like both of them. They're different tones. They're different animals. They have different feels. They are completely different. And tone is entirely subjective. So really, if you don't know which one you like, you owe it to yourself to come in and try both of these guitars out and see really which one speaks to you, which one has the feel you like, which one has the tone you like, the volume, the projection, the whole package. Both of these are at the same or similar price point, and so it's a good decision, or it's an easy decision to make, really, when it comes down to feel and tone, when the price is pretty much the same. So let's talk about the Martin first of all. The DX1AE, again, is part of their X series. This has a solid Sitka spruce top on it. It's a completely satin finish. It's a hand-rubbed finish, according to Martin's website, for the top. The back and side wood is Martin's HPL, or high pressure laminate, which is basically kind of a reconstituted wood product that Martin has been making for years. They're basically pros at it at this point. That has a sapele finish on it, or like a mahogany finish on it. It's thin. It's very strong, and it wears really, really well. So if you're looking for a guitar to, maybe to be your starter guitar, or for someone who's learning and you want them to have something that's good and strong, or maybe a backup guitar that you don't mind taking to the campsite, one of these would be a great choice because they are so sturdy. The neck is made from a product called Stratibond, which, if you can kind of see, there's a bunch of different pieces of wood in here that make up this neck. So it's a laminated neck made with, I don't know, probably about 20 pieces of wood, all pressure treated together with glue and then carved into shape, which creates a really cool effect on the heel here as they carve the heel into the Stratibond neck. This particular finish is called Rust from Martin, and it's got a nice feel to it. It's kind of a shallow oval shape. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. There's not a V carve to it or anything like that. So it's a modern profile for the neck, and something that most people will be really, really comfortable with. Around on the front, you've got the typical Martin headstock with their gold foil emblem that everybody's kind of come to know and love. I mean, this is classic Martin for you, with the typical tapered headstock, chrome tuners. The fretboard and the bridge look like ebony. They're not. They're actually a material called Richlite, which is a man-made material. It's very strong. It's very durable. It has a fine tone, so I don't think, particularly in this price point, you're going to be put off by it not being ebony. It feels just like ebony, and it wears really, really well. So there you have it. It doesn't have a whole lot of appointments. It's really a working man's guitar, but it's really well built. Inside, the bracing is not scalloped. It's their X series bracing, so it's a bracing pattern Martin specifically designed for this series of guitar, and it's really more of a tapered bracing rather than the scalloped or forward shifted bracing that you'll see on some of their upper end models. So, you know, you are giving a little bit away there, but I think they designed it to go with this model specifically based upon the attributes of this guitar, and it works really, really well. You get that Martin tone where there's, you know, really there's good clarity there, but you have a lot of low end, which everyone really has come to expect from Martin. This is an AE model, which is acoustic electric. And inside, it has a Fishman Sonocore pickup using the Sonotone system. So if you're not familiar with it, it's basically an economical pickup that Fishman has introduced for manufacturers. It's an under-saddle pickup, like most of Fishman's pickups. And it has controls right here in the sound hole. There are two knobs, one for volume and one for tone, that allow you to shape the sound and, of course, control your volume without having anything cut into the side of the guitar, which, in my opinion, is something that's welcome. I don't necessarily like the barn door controls or anything like that. As convenient as they are from an aesthetic standpoint, not one of my favorites. So this is the Taylor offering, and this is the Taylor 110E. It's part of Taylor's 100 series guitars, and if you're familiar with Taylor's numbering system, the 10 indicates a dreadnought body. They also have a 14 series, just like Martin also has orchestra or triple O size guitars in their X series. So on this, you've got the familiar dreadnought shape. Again, Martin invented it, and Taylor's kind of done their own take on it. They've redrawn the lines a bit to adhere more to Taylor's aesthetics. The top is, again, solid Sitka spruce, and it's got a satin finish throughout the entire guitar, satin top, back, and sides. Now on this one, it has laminate back and sides that are made of sapele. Now Taylor has clarified some of their language in their most recent product offerings and advertising material this year because they want to draw a distinction between their laminate and other laminates. This is an actual true laminate, whereas it's 3 pieces of wood, sapele with a poplar, core that are glued together under high pressure. So there's actual wood grain that you're feeling on here. It's actual wood grain that you're seeing. It's actual wood. It's just really thin pieces of wood that are put together under high pressure. You probably can't see this in the video, but if you came and played this guitar, you'll notice that the back has a bit of a bulge to it. It's not an ovation by any chance. It's not going to slide off your lap if you're not wearing a strap or anything like that. But what Taylor does is they take advantage of the fact that they're using a laminate. A laminate's really, really strong, and so they don't really need back bracing if they press this kind of mild bowl shape into the back of the guitar. And it also helps with projection. Just like, on an ovation, that curve helps push the sound forward. This helps push that sound forward and makes the guitar a little bit lighter since it doesn't have the spruce bracing on the back. The neck is mahogany. It's a standard Taylor carve, which is a nice thin but not too thin carve that Taylor has really been known for. And it's using their NT neck, which means it's a bolt-on neck utilizing shims in the heel and under the fretboard, which means it can be reset and adjusted really within about 3 minutes by an authorized Taylor technician. I should mention that the Martin guitar and the X series is not using a dovetail joint, it's using a mortise tenon joint, and Martin uses that on some of their models and the dovetail typically on the standard models and higher end ones. It's got black binding on it. It's just black fiber binding, and along the front we have an ebony bridge and an ebony fretboard. So you're actually getting real ebony here. It's not Richlite or a man-made material. And what Taylor is doing is they're really pushing the use of ebony that has some coloring and some variation on it. If you haven't seen their videos talking about why this is important, particularly for the environment and also for the use of ebony in fine musical instruments going forward, you should do so. They've highlighted it on their recent 800 series, and on these guitars you'll often see various coloration. Sometimes it'll be dark and black with very little coloration. Sometimes you'll see something that looks very wildly different throughout the grain, and I for one actually kind of like that. It's wood, right? So I really like the look a lot. Standard Taylor headstock, which we've all kind of become familiar with over the years, with a sapele overhead up there. Or actually, I think it's a rosewood veneer. Inside, Taylor's utilizing their EST pickup, which is something they introduced a few years back. And the EST is basically an under-saddle transducer pickup, like the Fishman pickup, with controls up here. They're very non-intrusive, but you do have onboard controls consisting of volume, treble, and bass. It is an active pickup. It's powered. You have a 9-volt battery here at the bottom near the end pin, and you can change that out pretty quickly on the fly. Since it's active, if you need to boost the mid, cut your treble and bass. If you need to scoop the mid like you would here on a Rosewood guitar, bring the two up, and the mid stays where it is. So a lot of flexibility and a really good sound. This does have the scalloped bracing from Taylor. It's a forward-shifted scalloped bracing that they tinkered with a few years back from their typical scalloped bracing pattern, but similar to what you'll find on all of the Taylors going up to the 700 series. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed our video. Remember to comment at the bottom on these great guitars. Tell us what you think about them. Come into our store, check them out. They're both great guitars. They're at the same price point. The Taylor gives you one of Taylor's great gig bags. It comes with it. For the Martin, a case or gig bag is optional. And, you know, they're wonderful guitars. I think they both sound great. So come make your pick, get your choice, and enjoy one of these wonderful guitars. Thanks for watching.